Great morning, y'all. Come on in, come on in. Oh Lord, let me not forget to plug my phone up, y'all. Or it'll be dead. Make sure I'm charging. Let me check. Yep. Great morning, y'all. Great morning. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. It is 10/2, honey. October the second day of the month. We are in a new year. New year, new quarter. And I am so excited about everything God is doing. Y'all come on in, come on in. Let me know who's here and where you're tuning in from. Who's here and where are you tuning in from? Who is here? I know this was a interesting title for today's prophetic word. Hey cousin, how are you, Yashida? Yashida Nashalanda. My baby. It's so difficult looking at them and being like my baby, and they are not babies no more, whole grown women. Wow. Seems like just yesterday. Hey, Stacy. Right, girl. Y'all go ahead and share this broadcast. Share this broadcast. Somebody needs to hear what it is that I have to say. Somebody needs to hear what I have to say. Yes, Queens, New York for yet a little bit. Queens, New York for yet a little bit. Y'all, it's a little nippy outside. And it's a little nippy outside, but I knew I was going to be loud this morning. Why? Because I'm always loud. But my girl, honey, I stayed out with the lady apostle. We spent the day together, the bulk of it. And then we ended up connecting last night. We went to Cigar International. Y'all know I like a cigar every now and then, and just had an amazing time. I'm gonna tell you something. It is a beautiful feeling to be with girlfriends that you can just be fine with, right? That is a beautiful feeling, and without them feeling any type of way, both of y'all fine. So when people are looking, you're not surprised, and there's no she thinks she cute. She act too, and I am cute and bougie. But we had an amazing time yesterday. Just talking and catching up and being able to spend time together. Man, I tell you, I love that lady. I love the lady apostle. Let me tell you something. I love it. I love it. I love it. It is difficult um, to find friends like that. But when you do, baby, you better hold on to them like there's no tomorrow. I'm grateful that God has blessed me with the company of some amazing women, and I'm enjoying that. But for someone who like normally doesn't really necessarily like having to deal with women, because of some of the things that sometimes women do, I like that I've got women in my life. I like that. I like helping women to build those kinds of bonds, because we need them. Um, I was reading a post that Tiffany Williams posted yesterday that I could not comment on. But she was just talking about how much further women would be if we could come together and do things as opposed to, you know, having the infighting, the jealousy, the stuff that sometimes occurs when women get together. And women have been saying, and it's not like women have been saying that they are no longer, well, not no longer. Well, some people no longer, not really focused on women because of how women uh, respond, not wanting to listen, not wanting to look at self. And it's one of the many reasons that I'm grateful that God didn't assign me to just one group of people. Um, God assigned me to people. And that's important to me, right? That women look at themselves, men look at themselves, kids look at themselves, parents look at themselves. Like we all just got to look at ourselves multi generationally and understand why all of this is there. And I think that's the thing, right? And when, hold on, y'all. Hold on. Okay. So this morning, you know, I was gonna talk about something else, and God just said, "Stop it right now." And I'm like, "Well, what am I gonna be saying about stop it right now?" Listen, stop it right now. Not believing enough in you to do what it is that God has purposed you to do. Stop it. Don't go another day thinking that you're not good enough. Don't go another day feeling like you're not equipped enough. Don't go another day, not another one. There's so much that you have to offer the world. Stop it. Not just now, but right now. When you think about the people who inspire you, you know, people, talk a lot about TD Jakes, right? They talk a lot about TD Jakes and what he does in the Potter's House and Woman Thou Art Loosed. But they don't talk a lot about the process. They don't talk a lot about when he was in West Virginia, when he couldn't hardly feed his kids. They don't talk a lot about when he was in the storefront. They don't talk a lot about when he had a few members. They don't talk a lot about the fact that he had to take a journey. They don't talk a lot about that part. It doesn't change the fact that it existed. It doesn't change the fact that it's a part of his story. Now people talk a lot about Sarah Jakes Roberts. Oh my God, she's so anointed. But if they'd have been around when she was pregnant as a teenager, they would have been saying something very different. They would have been talking about the fact that she was pregnant as a teenager and she wasn't married, and they would have been talking about the Jakes because how you a whole pastor got a whole church and your teenage daughter is pregnant. They'd have talked about all that. So while you busy worrying about people talking about you, know and understand people are going to talk about you regardless. People are going to have something to say. They're going to tell you what you did wrong. They're going to have so much to say. And the question becomes, you going to do nothing and let them talk about you doing nothing? Or you going to do something and let them talk about you doing something? Stop it right now. We get so worried about everything except the most important thing, right? Y'all may say, well, Dr. V, what's the most important thing? Doing what God said do. I don't know. Well, let me just say this. Maybe it's not the most important thing for you, but it's definitely the most important thing for me. For me, the most important thing is doing what God said the way God said it even if it sounds crazy and it doesn't make sense and no one gets it and no one understands. Believe in God even if it don't make sense. Trust in God even when you don't quite feel like it. Good morning, cousin. How you doing, Z? Girl, my daddy called your name yesterday, honey, talking to Tim, talking about Zenobia. I said, Daddy, that's Timmy. He said, well, they both just beautiful. And you are, right? I think it's time. I just think it's time. I just think it's time. And really, cousin, if you just know that you ain't, listen, you don't need everybody in your circle. You don't. You just need the people in your tribe who are assigned to your tribe. The circle that God has called you to, right? If you listen, even if you don't know who that is yet, even if you don't know who that is, having God and getting clear and getting out of your own way is one of the best things that you could ever do. Understanding when I will, girl, understanding that, y'all, I'm not feeling a little happy about it. I'm feeling a little happy about this. Okay, so understanding that God is a God who makes no mistakes. So, just a little story, right? So, you know, the other day, let me tell you something. When you have kids, listen, and you understand your kids and how your kids move and what they do and all of that, then you're not surprised by some things that happen. Like you can anticipate it. You start like, oh, this is gonna go left. It's gonna go left. So we had a moment where things went left, right? And they went left real bad and real fast. And I said, oh my God, Jesus, what in the world is going on? Oh God, what is going on? Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something that I love about my family. You know, we love each other. We love each other. Wait a minute. Garrett, let me tell you why I woke up cute. Because I had this whole face last night with some more. And I said, I'm going to recycle this face. I'm recycling this. this this is my recycle face. I ain't even done the touching up or nothing. I just had to do the little cleanups. Okay, clean up on aisle one, clean up on aisle two. I did the cleanup, but this is gonna be a whole recycle face. I was cute last night. Y'all gonna look at my pictures. I was cute. I didn't even take a full body picture. I should have, because I was real cute, real cute. I'm talking about body by boom boom. That cute, okay? Outfit black and gold, black and gold. I thought I was back in Russell Panther. You know, our colors were black and gold. Baby, honey, listen. Honey walked in. People like, what? Singular focus. Listen, I'm not here for that. Yes, girl. Listen, this the recycled face. Recycled. Y'all better stop throwing everything away. Some stuff just need to be recycled. Okay. But yeah. We listen, we got to stop it. Right, cousin? We got to stop it. So my family just genuinely loves each other, but we also genuinely have issues and challenges. Like for real, for real. Like if it go left, it subject to go real left. My daughter is a Gemini, okay? And listen, that Gemini energy, it hits different, right? And I know y'all, we say sanctified and filled with the Holy Ghost, right? And we don't believe in astrological signs. And we don't believe in all this. I believe in God and the God of the universe who set the stars in the sky. And there were patterns that were established that we must recognize so that we can overcome them. I don't think that we are limited by the sign under which we were born, the stars, and where they were set when we were born. But I definitely do know that there is influence on patterns of behavior of people. And so people become aware of the patterns and make a choice whether or not they're going to allow the patterns to continue. See, patterns are patterns. It's science. It's science. It's scientific. Once you recognize the pattern, it's what do you do with the pattern? And so anyway, there was a collusion of forces in nature and in the spirit that meant some things went real left. And I just be looking at my family like something is wrong here. But people love us. People love us. So my son's girlfriend, honey, the girl's so sweet. I love her. I really do love her. And it doesn't mean that I haven't loved his other girlfriends. I have, but this little girl right here, I love her. And she's from Kentucky, right? So Donnell stayed with us at one point, so she know. She know we can be special. We can be special, right? Yes. That's right, cousin. Recognize the patterns and choose correctly. You got to choose to be correct, choose the correct path, choose to do what's in alignment with your God destiny, your God purpose, your God identity, right? So the girl, honey, listen, got inserted into the situation. And she's like, well, I don't understand because I didn't do it. I said, baby, it's not you. Now, this one thing about me now, listen, people can say what they want to, but one thing about me, if you right, I'm with you. But if you wrong, I'm like, you wrong. Like, how do you even try to make that right? That cannot, you can't make that right. That you're wrong in this situation. So my daughter happened to be wrong in the situation. It's like, yeah, I wish you would defend me like you defend her. Okay, so there's that part of me that knows that I didn't get everything right with her, and there were things that I wish I had been able to protect her from, but I wasn't. And so then, as parents, sometimes we'll start feeling a little guilt. No, ma'am. Listen, what I'm not going to do is allow my saboteurs to tell me that, oh, you're just a horrible mother. No, I am not. No, I've not chosen you or defended you, but I'm not going to defend you when you're wrong. I'm not. I'm gonna tell you you're wrong. Not only are you wrong, you're real wrong right now. Real wrong. Girl, and she was a whole mama. A whole mama. Not Micah. Mama. Not Micah with the I. Mama. 1K. Full tilt. Full throttle. Like full, right? So then yesterday, I look up and she doing the girl's hair and they going to the mall. And I'm just looking at the girl like, that girl loves my son and loves my family. And I said, God, I remember when, and maybe y'all can remember this, your kids and somebody does something to you and y'all fight hard. And the next day, you're back friends. And we got older and we said, that's, I don't care. I'm not talking to her. I never got to talk to her again in my life. And we would hold it, stand on it, hang a hat on it. And I'm not saying that there aren't relationships where you have to do that. But a lot of times, it's just people dealing with stuff that they don't know how to deal with. You see, what I recognized when my daughter was going full tilt, full throttle, was there was a collision of forces that overwhelmed her. And the way her personality is set up and the way that she's wired, she goes on defense. So there were things happening in nature. It was the anniversary of her grandfather's death, and she's taking it really hard. And one of her friends was going through something all at the same time, and all like she just found out. Like it was a lot. And I watched this girl who is not our blood. She wasn't born in our family. She didn't come from our womb. Just show grace. Just show grace. I watched my kids pull it together. I watched my daughter apologize sincerely. But there was one thing that I was determined to do, and that was to let her know it's not okay to do that to people and then think that it's just supposed to be all good. Stop it right now. You're going through a lot. You've got a lot of emotions flowing right now. Stop pouring all of your anger and vitriol out on everybody else. Okay? And you wanted to argue with me. Baby, I'm not finna argue with you. You ain't finna say stuff that makes sense right now. Because right now, you out of your mind. Like you're not in your right mind. So for me to argue with you is pointless. And it's designed to get me to say something or do something that I'm going to regret. And I'm not doing that. You all gotta stop it right now. Stop allowing family dysfunction to continue and persevere as though it's not family dysfunction. Identify the patterns, address the patterns, and make decisions accordingly. You can't change other people, but do you know what you can change? Your response in situations. See, I'm over allowing things to go on and then act like they didn't happen and everybody act like nothing happened. A whole lot happened. Let's talk about this. Let's figure this out. Let's get this right. Let's get to the root of it. See if we can find another way of dealing with the emotions that come up. Because that's the key. Not everybody is going to extend the same level of grace. And not everybody is going to handle it the same way. Now, that I'm clear on. But I know for me, I'm not doing the same thing over and over and over again, getting the same result, and then just going to keep doing it. I'm not doing that because I'm going to put my energy somewhere else. Come on, cousin. Her BAM acronym, PTR, pause, think, and then react. Because for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction, but you need to decide, is that what you want to give, right? And if it's not, don't give it. I watched that young lady listen to my daughter say some stuff to her that, listen, I can't guarantee that boyfriend, sister, or not, that I might not would have. We might would have had too. Like, what? I was so proud of her. And I had to tell her, I'm so proud of you. But girl, why do you want to be in this family? Why? Why do you want to be in this family? But she knew. She knew that we were all going through the emotions of the 1 year anniversary of Daddy's death. She knew that it was a lot for us. She knew that. And because she knew that, her grace was stretched. And as a result of that, now listen to this, y'all. As a result of that, as a result of how she handled it, listen to me. I'm just talking about her right now, right? As a result of how she handled it, the way she handled it allowed her to share in a very special family moment when we went to spread my dad's ashes without there being any awkwardness, without there being any of that. You see, family is tricky. And her handling it the way she handled it showed how much she honors our family and that she would never want to do anything that would create extra between my son and my daughter. Because if that girl had, and she would have been justified, honey, to respond. She would have responded in a way other than the way that she responded. She would have been justified. But it would have created a wedge between my son and my daughter because siblings can heal. They can work it out, they can figure it out, whatever, whatever. And when you are a boyfriend, girlfriend, or significant other, and you get in that, you can't win. And I told her, because I have very real, candid conversations with the young lady. I just believe it's important. When God places people in your life and in your circle for you to share with them the things that, those nuggets of wisdom and things like that. And that's what I try to do. With all the young women around me, young men around me, that's what I always do. I've always done it. It's probably why they're all always at my house because I'm going to tell them the truth and I'm going to say it in a very real way, and they're gonna laugh at me and stuff. But I'm be like, "But I'm for real. Y'all think y'all missed a pullout? That ain't the only thing you gotta worry about is dropping a seed. I'm gonna need y'all to get y'all's minds right." So I was talking to her, and she said, "I'm telling y'all, that's why I love this little girl. That's why I love her." She said, "I love y'all. I love y'all. I love your family. I love your son." And I know she does. Um, See, because when you can see the inner workings of a family and not judge it, you can see the inner workings of a family and use it to reflect on yours. When you can see the inner workings of a family and know that every family has their stuff. I don't care how perfect a family looks on the outside. Like, this is why people be messed up when they get close to pastors and their families. Because, when you get on the inside and you see the family stuff that happens in families, you be like, but I thought y'all were the first family. We're a family still, right? So, this is the funny part. Yesterday, after I spent time with my girl, I went to the shop. My daughter was doing her hair. And we all left, and it was, and there's some significance in this, and there's some significance in this. It was myself, my daughter, Amber, and Madison. the baby, right? It was the four of us, right? We looked like darn steps, right? And she real little petite, the little petite girl. Um, and when I spoke at the women's empowerment brunch, it was the four of us, and it seems like there's something there in that bond, right? Something there in that bond. And it doesn't exclude Brooklyn. It's just that Brooklyn is a lot of times on the weekend with her dad's family, which is a blessing because they're active in her life. But the four of us went to the mall, and she had a date, and she, you know, um, was trying to figure out what she was wearing. And she was talking about what she was wearing, and I was like this. And she said, "Well, my dude, help me." I said, "Okay." She said, "I want to do like a little black dress, and I got these shoes that I want to wear." She got the shoes, and she's like, "You like these?" I was like, well, y'all like it. Do you like it? That's what matters. And she said, "You sound just like my mom." She got the shoes, and then I helped her put the outfit together. I said, "This is what I'm envisioning, right?" And so you think, I'm a little stylist, right? I'm a fashion stylist, and I be putting stuff together, honey. I put a little outfit together. It's like, bam. Then Michael was like, "Well, now don't do the belt." So she didn't do the belt. I did the belt last night. So we were all three kind of looking like triplets in a way, different versions and iterations of the outfit. And but she put her little outfit on. She had her little ponytails flipped, and Micah had done her hair. She was so cute. And I looked at her and Adam as they went out on their date. And I'm just like, wow. But she was like, "Does it work?" And she looked so cute. And I just watch how they interact. Y'all, we got to stop it right now. Normalizing holding on to toxicity in our life. And when I'm talking about toxicity, I'm not talking just the people. I'm talking about toxic patterns of behavior. We've got to normalize encountering conflict and working through it. We've got to normalize, yes, operating with emotional intelligence and positive intelligence. Look, every encounter that we have, our saboteurs are talking to us. Let me tell you what my daughter heard when I said, "Micah, don't bring that girl into this. She don't have nothing to do with it." What she heard in her head was, "See, she don't care about you. She only care about other girls. She always choosing other people over you. She don't never do that for you. She don't never defend you. She don't never," which is not the truth, but it's what her saboteurs were telling her. So she began to respond to all of the saboteurs that were talking to her at one time. All of the saboteurs that were saying different stuff, trying to feed on her her doubts, her insecurities, her emotions, her emotional state. See, that's what saboteurs do. Saboteurs play on what they know, right? Are the thoughts that you have. Now in the church, we call it the devil. I just came to tell you that you can handle the devil in your life. Look, when you understand how these saboteurs work, and you understand that you can shut them down now, you can say, "Stop it right now. That is a lie from the pit of hell." Then you can change how you respond to the things that occur in your life. You can't control everything that happens in your life, but you can control how you respond. Conflict is inevitable. There will be conflict in your life, period. You're going to encounter conflict in your relationships, friendships, romantic relationships, spiritual relationships. Like, I don't care where you go, where there are people, there will be, not might be, could be, possibly will be. No, no, no. No, no, no. There will be conflict, period. And conflict is not bad. Conflict, when handled in healthy ways, creates change. Creates change. You want to change a dynamic in a relationship, it's going to require conflict. Conflict comes so that you can have critical conversations. We need to have critical conversations, crucial conversations. These conversations are conversations that you need to have, but you may not quite know how to have. You may not want to have the conversation, but the conversation is necessary. And if the only way that the conversation can be evoked is through conflict, conflict is going to occur. Every critical or crucial conversation is not for dissolution. Sometimes it's just for growth. Sometimes it's just for clarity. Sometimes it's just to set boundaries. Whatever the purpose of it is, conflict has a role in your life. The problem is we're taught not to deal with conflict or to deal with it in unhealthy ways. Boys are taught, go on and fight. When it's done, it's done. Whoever wins, wins, and keep it moving. Girls are taught, you don't talk to them anymore. You don't play with them anymore. See, when you have a conflict, I'm just not playing with you anymore. I'm just not playing with you anymore. Fight. Stop talking. Those are not the only ways to respond to conflict. Conflict can be handled. My cousin said it with communication. Yes, cousin. Saboteurs and conflict reveal what we need to work on. That's the purpose. That's the purpose. My cousin said sometimes we have to create smart goals for conflict and grow from it. What do you want out of this? What do you want out of this? What do you want? Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. Smart. We got to stop it right now. The challenge is you can't stop what you don't understand. Definitely can't stop what you can't identify. And when we do, we can change our lives. We can change our lives. It's one of the many reasons that I'm doing another No More Sabotage class tonight at 7 p.m. If you haven't taken it, go register. Let me tell y'all something. I'm sick of religion without solutions. I'm sick of spirituality without growth. I'm sick of us trying to pray away what we just need to address in healthy, effective ways. I'm sick of folks casting out spirits but not dealing with what's going on up here. Oh, you done cast the demon out, but the demon left footprints, patterns, thought patterns. So I'm going to be real with you. I don't believe everything is a demon, and I don't think everything is spiritual. I believe that the enemy orchestrates situations and put them in play, and then the enemy ain't even got to do nothing no more. Why? Because we do it ourselves. We do it ourselves. He's on to the next thing. We blaming the devil. It's a spirit. No, it is the effects of the spirit, right? It's effects of the work of that spirit, that trauma, that whatever. But that spirit ain't even got to be there no more. Ain't even got to be there. You know how I know? Look at slavery. Huh? Once you get people thinking a certain way, they ain't got to be there. The master could leave and be gone, and ain't nobody there but the women, and come back, and the slaves are still there. Why is that? Because they have been convinced in their mind that they could not be free, that they needed the master. You ain't got to do no more work. What the master got to do? Once a person's spirit is broken, you ain't got to do nothing. How people end up stuck in domestic violence relationships and situations. After they do a certain amount, they ain't got to do nothing. They just give a look. People start thinking in their head, well, if I do this, and they might do this, and I don't want them to do this, so I'm not going to do this, and I'm going to do this. I'm telling you, it's real. You ain't got to be there. Stop trying to cast out what you can process out. Stop trying to cast out what you can process out. This class will teach you how to deal with you. Before you can effectively deal with someone else, you need to know how to deal with you. You need to know how to stop self-sabotaging. You do. Listen, y'all, I believe in this. I believe in this. And the reason I believe in this is God has just shown me so much that so much of what we deal with in the church ain't even spiritual. Ain't spiritual. It's not. It's natural, psychological, it's emotional. Everything is not spiritual. Because when we really understand the power of the Spirit, those things do not have to have dominion over you. What we're dealing with, that ain't necessarily spiritual, but the solution is natural and spiritual. When you understand your identity, your spiritual identity, right? When you understand that, then the stuff that is trying to go on around you and in you, you don't have to give it dominion. It doesn't have a right to reside there. It doesn't have a right to torment you there. Our tormentors are our thoughts, those whispers. And they often are established very early in our life through our relationships with our parents, our childhood experiences. The enemy does his most work when we're children. This is why we as adults got to get it together because we're raising children. And our voices will become the voices of torment. The way many of our parents' voices became voices of torment, judging us, telling us, see, you can't do nothing right. I knew you wouldn't get it right. You can't never do nothing right. You need to be more like. I didn't realize how highly my dad saw me until I was having a conversation with one of my sisters, right? This is my dad that just passed, right? I was having a conversation with one of my sisters, and we're not biological sisters, but my daddy raised them in the house with him from the time they were little. And so we were talking, and she said, well, Daddy told me that I need to be more like you. He said, what? Yeah, Daddy told me that I need to be more like you because you, da, 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 da. He said, what? I'm still stuck on he said that she need to be more like me because I thought I was just all wrong, right? And I had a conversation with Daddy, and I said, Daddy, please don't do that to her. Don't compare her to me because she's got her own separate identity. And you don't want her to feel like who she is isn't enough. See, even then, in my 20s, there were some things that I understood, and I understood them because of how some things had affected me, right? And so even then, I was trying to share, but it was in what he said to her, because he had never said those things to me, that I discovered how he saw me. That's when some things began to click. Right. Right, Anthony. Sick of praying what we need. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, Stacy, everything is not a demon. We do have to deal with the residue of the trauma because it's real. And yes, Michelle Mickey Benson, my girl, your mind is the main battlefield for spiritual warfare, right? And listen, when the enemy is, listen, the enemy uses the inner me. I'm serious though. I really don't think that he be thinking about us necessarily the way we think he do. Because he don't have to. He does not have to. Literally, we do the work for him. And he's gone on. He's gone. Gone on, messing with somebody else. Am I saying that demons don't exist and, demonic forces don't exist? They do. This is what I'm saying. In addition to that, I don't think it's either or. I think it's both and, right? Much of what we call spiritual warfare is internal warfare. Spirit started it, we continue it. And we control it. We control whether it continues or whether it stops. And one of the things about this class is you will learn how to identify which of your saboteurs is at work, which ones are at work, how to shut them down. I'm not going to continue to allow us to walk around in a fog like there's no solutions when there are. There are solutions. It's not always about medicine. It's not always about an exorcism. It's an exorcism, but not the kind y'all thinking about, with the cross and the holy water and the priest with the collar on. No, what you're doing is you're evicting these thoughts from your mind. God made this so clear. That's why he said, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are right, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are of good report. Think on these things. Because he understands the power of our thoughts. He understands the power of our mindset, our mentality. He understands that. And because he understands it, ooh, y'all is looking real anointed. I see the oil dripping. Drip, drip. I'm blessed, baby. Good to see you. Listen. So I encourage you. Want to learn how to really believe God. Silence the voices that tell you can't believe him. Want to learn how to really, really love God and love you, right? Silence the voices that say he didn't tell the truth about you and that you are not worthy. Yes, sis. Yes. Yes. We are the Most High's battle axe. We do the warfare in our mind. So get equipped. Get some tools. Understand what you're fighting and how to fight it. Yes, scripture is powerful. Listen, I take nothing from the word of God because I promise you, when I start talking about this stuff, I see the word at work. I see the word at play, right? And I'm like, God, you are so infinite. in your knowledge and your wisdom that you already knew. Already knew. You already knew. You already laid it out. You already mapped it out for us. We're the ones that take everything literally when he doesn't mean it literally, right? I'm amazed that God chose to reveal this to me as he's had me on this healing journey and been putting the pieces of the puzzle together. See, I've been Harriet Tubman. Listen, I've been a Moses. I've been that. All my life I've been that. I know it's an assignment. I know what I'm called to do. I'm called to liberate God's people. No matter how young or how old, I'm called to liberate God's people. Not the way people think. Hey, my God. See, when Jesus showed up, they thought he was going to come and do one thing. They thought that him being the King of Kings was one thing. They thought that it meant him sitting on a throne, but he didn't come to sit on a throne. That's not here, right? Not here at this time, right? But he came. He came to show people how to get free. I thought about it, and I was like, God, if more people really realized how powerful we were, like you really knew that you can't lose. If you really knew that you are fearfully and wonderfully made and the apple of God's eye, like if you really understood what that meant, if you really understood what it meant that with God, all things are possible. If you really, really, really understood, like in your heart of hearts and your mind, that with him, nothing is impossible. If you really, really knew, okay, that all things work together for the good of those who love the Lord and are called according to his purpose. If you really knew how to cast down every vain imagination, if you really knew that, like if you really knew how to cast them down, baby, what would stop you? As soon as it comes up, when you know what to do, when you know how to identify it, you know how to call it by name, you know how to address it, to shift the thought, eliminate the thought, call the thought what it is, a lie. That's what Jesus did. Y'all know that? That's what Jesus did. You got to know it's a lie to be able to call it a lie. But if you believe the lie, you're going to respond to the lie. But when you know it's a lie, it's different. I know, my God, I know that my assignment is heavy. I know I have a heavy assignment. We all do. All of us. The only difference between me and you is that some of you haven't accepted that you have an assignment that's going to impact the world, the kingdom. I know I have a heavy assignment. And my assignment doesn't look like everybody else's. And God crafted my assignment specifically for the me that He created. Did you hear me? He crafted your assignment for the you that He created. So if your assignment was crafted for the you that He created, then you are enough. I am enough. The reason we feel like we're not enough is we're trying to complete an assignment that is not ours. You're trying to create an assignment that is not ours the way someone else that is not us would do it. Instead of allowing the one who created you, the one who deposited you in your mother's womb, the one who breathed his ruach breath into your life, into your body, into your being, to guide us. Instead of taking notes in this journey called life to see, God, what is the unique assignment to craft you specifically for the me that you created? God created you. I know you look like your mama, you act like your daddy, but God created you. And overriding your biological DNA is your God DNA that uses your biological DNA to create exactly who God needed. Exactly. There were no mistakes in you. None. God divinely orchestrated the situations of your life. He knew everything that would happen. And He said, okay, I know they got to go through this, but I'm going to use this to help them understand this. I know that they're going to go through this, but I'm going to use this to help them go through this. I need you to understand that there's nothing accidental about the things that have happened in your life. God saw it before you were ever deposited in your mother's womb, and He knew you would be able to survive it. And after you survived it, He would use it to teach you to thrive. It's not enough to just survive. It's not enough. You are not fulfilling your God assignment on the earth by surviving. You're not. You're not. Listen to me. You're not. Yes, pat yourself on the back for surviving, because some people didn't. Good job. Now thrive. Stop being scared. Stop being afraid. Stop allowing yourself to feel. Listen, nobody on this earth, listen to me, nobody on this earth can beat me at being me. There's nobody on this earth who can beat me at being me. Beat me at fulfilling my assignment. Do you understand? Now, your assignment may be similar, and I'm not threatening my dad. Baby, it's so much work to be done. Why are you threatened because somebody is doing or saying the same thing that you're doing or saying? It don't threaten me. I want the work to be done. I want the lives to be changed. It's time out for the pettiness. It's time out for the foolishness. It's time out for just surviving. Do you know why I share my living with you, right? Things that I do. Like, oh, I went to the cigar lounge, right? Because we're so busy surviving that we don't allow ourselves to enjoy and embrace our lives. So let me tell you what happened at the cigar lounge. I had a drink. I had more than one drink. I smoked a cigar. I talked to my girlfriend. Yeah, we got looks and all that. But a young lady walked by me, and as she was coming towards me, I said, "See, you're so beautiful." And she said, "Thank you, you are too." And I had to grab her hand. And I said, "Baby, listen, everything that you've gone through, God is getting ready to use it. He's getting ready to repay you for everything that's happened to you, everything that you've gone through, everything that, listen to me, in the cigar lounge. Listen to me. Oh, God is strategic about where he places me. And when he places me, I know there's always a reason. So, yes, I was enjoying life, but God had me there for a reason. He had me there so I could tell that young lady what he needed her to hear. I didn't know her from anybody else in there. I didn't know her name. I didn't know who she was, but God cared enough about her to position me there in the center table, in the cigar lounge, for me to give her a word from the Most High that he needed her to have. So while y'all out there judging where people are situated, baby, you better understand that he needs us everywhere on the face of the earth. He needs us to be strategically placed in places to speak to people that we don't even understand that their destiny is so great that our positioning in that moment could be the very thing that allows them to continue on to believe the thing that God has spoken over their life. But no, you're so religious, you're so caught up in the legalities that you're missing being where God needs you to be because you're afraid that somebody is going to judge you. See, he needs some people like me who don't care what you got to say or what you think. I know my assignment is so great that it's going to put me in places that causes church folks and religious folks to be skeptical of my anointing, but my anointing speaks for itself. My anointing shows up where I show up. It allows me to do things in places that other people can't do. It allows me to minister to the woman in the wheelchair with no legs. Well, she said she left her legs at home. Listen, and be able to laugh and what? People start talking to me about the things of God. They told me, she said, you see, because I'm blessed with her blessed tattoo. Oh, you mad because she got a tattoo. But her tattoo is her reminder to herself that with her no legs, seven heaven self, she is blessed by God. And she wants to keep it on her chest, on her heart, to remind her. All I know is this: I'm going to be everywhere God wants me to be. And if he puts it in my spirit to be there, I know there's a reason. My girlfriend snapped a picture and she said, I can't take her nowhere. She just always prophesying. Not to be seen, but for people to hear what they need to hear from God. And today, you needed to hear this. You have the ability to take control and dominion over the enemy and the inner me. All of the thoughts that have tormented you throughout your life, you can take dominion, and I can show you how. That's what this class is all about. Understanding what are your tormentors? What are your tormentors and where did they come from? Now let's deal with the root so that you can be free. Freedom ain't just about casting out a spirit. It's about finding the root of a thing and uprooting it so that it can't continue to torment. Listen, I got to get off here. I got to get ready for a 9:30 service. But listen, if you're in the Tampa Bay area, I'm worshiping at Legacy Church today, where the lady Apostle Tammy Robinson, is the apostle and the overseer. Y'all, I'm telling you, I know what just happened in this vehicle. Oh, God is getting ready to do something today. It's a powerful day. God is getting ready to do something. Wherever you go, expect God to do something. Expect it. You need to go with the spirit of expectation. If you're not signed up for this class tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern, you need to sign up for this class. Baby, don't miss this. Don't miss this, because God is getting ready to do a work. Go to https://bit.ly/no more sabotage. Register so I can get you the link so that you can take the assessments so that at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, um, 4 p.m. Pacific, you can be ready because God is about to do some stuff in this class. This class, I already feel it. It's going to hit different. It's going to hit different. It's going to hit different. Mike said, sign up, sign up. It's going to hit different. Listen, I'm telling you. Let me say this. Let me say this. Mm. For some of you, it's not even optional. It's a matter of life and death. You've been doing all these things to try to stop the thoughts, and they've not worked. God said, He's going to stop them. He's going to show you how you stop them because you can. It's not magic, it's knowledge and application. Jesus did everything that He needed to do for us to be free. Everything. The biggest part, the hardest part has already been done. We can't do the little stuff. But God is ready to really set the captives free. And if you're ready to really be free, sign up and watch what God does in your life. I pray that this word blessed you. I pray that you got what you needed. I pray that God ministered to your spirit what needed to be ministered. If the word blessed you and you desire to sow a seed, you can sow a seed at Cash App, $DRV Walters, Cash App, $DRV Walters, or PayPal.me/DRV Walters. See, you can register for the class and use Afterpay, pay and split it up into 4 payments. 75 divided by 4. Just think about that. 75 divided by 4 and pay for it. 1/4 now, 1/4 in 2 weeks, another fourth in 2 weeks, another fourth in 2 weeks. I would rather you do that than sow a seed. So if you plan on sowing a seed of $25 or more, listen, sow the seed into you. Sow the seed into you and register for the class. Because let me tell y'all something. Quiet as it's kept. Quiet as it's kept. You may not believe it. I would rather see you invest in you and get free than just sow a seed in me. Now, I'll take the seed. Listen to me. I'll take the seed because I know I'm worthy of it. But I want you to be free. I want you to be free. Come on, Rhonda. We're so free that we choose bondage. Listen, I'm telling you, I want you to be free. This is how much I believe in this class. This is how much I believe in it. I believe in this class so much that I have said, God, whatever it is that you're doing with this class, yeah, I'll do it for $75. Okay? Right now. You understand? It ain't gonna always be that. I understand what it is. But it's it right now. Because I want everybody to be free. Let me tell you the sad thing. $75. People still won't do it. Split up over 4 payments. People still won't do it. But will complain about the same issue in their life. Because you really don't want to be free. You don't. But for those who do, I guarantee it's going to help you. I'm trying to tell y'all that. So listen, I love you guys. I love you all to life and life more abundant. Join us at 9:30 for Passionate Pursuit of Manifested Purposes Ministries. Sunday morning worship service. I'll be back. I won't be in the car this time. I don't think. Uh, but I'll be back, and then I'll be worshiping live at Legacy Church in Tampa, 7402 North 56th Street, Suite 106. Legacy Church, Apostle Tammy Robinson. Y'all, we're going to have a high time in the Lord. I know it. Like I know that I know that I know, because I know the times and seasons of God. And this is high season. Like this is high holy times. You understand that. You understand that this is a time for acceleration and shift. Okay? So what you do in this season, like you're going to see accelerated throughout this year of divine recompense, this year of divine redemption. I'm telling you, God is taking care of his people. Watch what he does. I love you guys for life and life more abundant. Have an absolutely amazing, incredible, and epic day. I pray the word bless you. Be blessed.